All right. We're here live. Justin Bishop with the best damn arm wrestling sports show on the planet from Alexander City, Alabama. You're here with the Bull, Reza, and some other guy over here look like he's ready to rap for y'all.
Yo, what's up? Coming to you from LA.
Hell yeah. All right.
Hey, so Justin, on our last episode, or segment to the episode, we were talking about IFA Worlds. Let's see what's going down. Are you thinking about going, or what's up?
Well, I have an opportunity in front of me right now, and it would be similar to that time. So, if this doesn't go through, thinking about doing that. Why not? I've always wanted to go. I can actually afford to go now, even though it's in America, so that's even more of a reason. And this doesn't go through, which I really, really hope this does. But Worlds is right there too. I'll know within the next week or two for sure. So I don't know if I'm gonna tell everybody though. I always tell everybody, and then nobody comes.
Tell us. We ain't gonna say nothing.
Right? Nah, I'm bullshitting. I was actually thinking about like documenting the whole thing on my channel, but I don't know if I can make that kind of commitment.
Yeah, what's your channel, Justin? You want to shout it out?
Yes, Outlaw Arm Wrestling on YouTube. Check it out. The original reason we started was trying to right here. There it is. We started trying to do it. Trying to get back to fundamentals of arm wrestling. Actually have something to teach you about arm wrestling other than just lifting and hooking and top rolling. The small things that make good great. Now we do have a couple of videos on there of working out, rehab training, a couple trash talking videos just for the hell of it. And because I found if I don't have three people, with myself and two other people, it's much harder to make the kind of video that I'm looking to make. And all the guys I know, the only time we get together really is to arm wrestle, and nobody wants to make a video then. So
yeah, nobody's got the time.
Yeah, so I'm hoping I got a guy pretty committed to come into the house twice a week to train arm wrestling on the table. Hopefully, I can maybe get my wife or my oldest to get a couple of videos because that's what I've been getting requests for. People seem to like that. I was hoping they would because when I started, Devin was doing a lot of videos, and nobody is really doing those types of videos anymore. Everybody's doing, how much can I lift or how much can I push sideways, and shit like that. And it's not to say that's anything bad with that. Just that's not arm wrestling. That's getting stronger at arm wrestling, I guess, but that's not actually, in the match. What should I do? Type shit.
It's similar to martial arts where you could go to the gym and simulate the movement of a punch, or you could actually spar and have the hands-on training. And normally hands-on training is the best.
Yeah.
When you can't predict where the power is coming from, you know what I mean? There's nothing like it. Weights can't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I was explaining that to a guy the other day. I was like, that's why I like Todd's way of training because it's more like arm wrestling. It's painful. It's got a lot of plyometrics and isometrics and stuff like that. So yeah. I definitely like adding the bands and stuff when I'm lifting. I feel like that really gets your elbow fired up.
If you were to rank the top 5 in your weight class, who would they be in the United States?
What's my weight class? There are many.
I don't know.
185.
Yeah, 185.
85. Well, I think 85 would involve Toulier. Because I think Toulier walks around at 86, 87, 190 on a good day. Maybe. Usually he weighs in at that for his dress. And I'd probably put him at the top of the heap at 85. And we're talking right-handed. I think I'm right there behind him. I don't see anybody that can at 85. I mean, you could argue some people, obviously. I'd argue back, you know what I mean? But I haven't proven myself better than Tulio in my mind. So I've proven myself better than anybody on the top of my head right now. People like to say Perez, but he's not here anymore, so we can't say that.
He's back for a minute.
Is he?
Yeah.
I was just over there, bro. Like that's half the reason I wanted to come.
Yeah, he just came back just in the last week. So I don't think he's going to be here very long, but very long could be 6 months. So
yeah,
you got the California State Championships. I know y'all kind of stay away from that one, but that's a good one to come on out, try your talent out, see how good you really are.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna lie to you. I only cared about pulling him left arm. I mean, even though I know his right's legit, I was looking forward to that. But I don't know. I don't know that my left arm will be the same for a little while. And it was crazy when I left Hawthorne. My right arm hurt so bad I couldn't put my hand in my front pocket.
Oof.
And it feels. I got small inner elbow pain, but other than that, I did have a ton of tennis elbow, but I didn't feel that before the tournament or after. And my left arm was just tired. It was sore from arm wrestling. When I got back in the gym, my left arm, it hurt in every joint that I have, like a shit ton. Like I gave it man everything I had.
You got some DMSO, right?
Some what?
DMSO. You have some of that stuff.
No.
Oh,
I don't have it.
you need to get that ASAP. That's the magical solution for arm wrestlers, dude.
Okay.
They use it on racing horses when they tear their
I
tendons.
know what you're talking about.
I got it once, Justin. If it touches anything other than your arm, it's gonna
Trust me. I figured it out real
burn, bro.
So the first time I ever used Icy Hot was at that UAL 8 tournament, bro. I had fell off a 6-footer and cracked 2 ribs on my left side about 2.5 weeks before that. And anyway, it was still bothering me when I coughed or strained real hard. So I was like, shit, I'm gonna rub some of this Icy Hot on it. And that was a real stupid idea. I was in the fucking bathroom just throwing water on it, fucking, as they're calling me up to arm wrestle. I think I got like 5th left-handed. But, went undefeated right-handed, so it's all good.
You gotta hear the story where Reza got it on his balls. Tell him.
No, so actually I had a martial arts student that did martial arts training for like a week straight, and then I had him do isometrics for arm wrestling for like an hour straight, just isolating at the end. And this guy's arms were so fucked up. He was crying. He's like, I need something for my arms. So I gave him this like Russian Icy Hot. This shit's like fucking toxic, dude. He put this shit on his arms, and then somehow he got it on the wrong part of his body, on his fucking dick. And he's screaming and crying, dude. And like I had my other arm wrestling students there, and then I'm like, hey, he's like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm like, jump in the pool. It's like fucking like 45-degree fucking swimming pool. This guy goes and jumps in the fucking pool, dude. It was fucking crazy. The stupidest shit in the world over fucking Russian Icy Hot.
Right. That's wild.
That's good shit though, Justin. It really is. It works. And I highly suggest if you're having trouble with any tendon pains, that's the go-to.
Bought me one of those massage guns. That really helps.
Those things are pretty nifty too.
It depends on what your injury is. Because if your injury is muscular, then that can heal with time depending on if it's like a real bad tear. If it's micro tears, that'll heal over time. If it's ligament connective tissue, like your fascia, then sometimes that takes a little more time to heal, and the way it heals actually leaves behind scar tissue and inflammation. And then you have like bone spurs, which could occur as well, which is like micro fractures in the bone. And it could be like a combination of all those things, and you got to make sure that you're taking the time and doing the proper rehab to let it come back 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we was talking about stretching and all that the other day. I was sitting there doing that this morning. And you can definitely tell, when you're doing it, when you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
Stretching's beast.
yeah. Yeah, you try to just get in there and get at it, and kind of forget that part a lot of times. So
Yeah.
it's like I was telling you, I can definitely always tell when I don't stretch my back. So
Yeah.
my arms are no different. My range of motion is getting getting a little bit
Right.
less.
Yeah. Yeah. It's normal though. As we get older, you lose range of motion, but if you just do a little stretching, you can maintain it. Scott's stretching his hand right now with a Play-Doh.
Stretching it, training the fuck out of it right now. It will
Right.
devour in about 3 months. Yeah, forget about the 185 class, Justin. I mean, left-handed, you're good. It'll be a minute. You know what I mean? But yeah, my right's gonna be. You're on my list, so
Happy to.
we'll get to
Hey,
it.
I tend to make a few people's lists.
Yeah,
I
who
like it.
do you think have you pulled Ole Mosier?
I was at that tournament actually, and no, I shit the bed right-handed. I'm trying to remember exactly. I think he pulled 85
Yeah,
only right-handed, I think.
yeah, he did
Left-handed,
two.
I think he pulled
two
both.
days. Yeah,
And anyway, I think I got fourth right-handed. I hurt myself a little bit in the first match, and then in the second match, I definitely felt it, but I was like, screw it. Anyway, no, I hadn't pulled him. I was looking forward to all those fast guys always, always give you that feeling like, you got to be on your P's and Q's. So,
Yeah.
even when I pulled, oh shit, what's his name?
Rush.
I got it.
Roman
Who?
Gromov?
Yeah, Roman. When I pulled Roman, in Idaho, I was like, man, just be in the match, baby. You know what I mean? Just get there. And I actually, when I come off the table, I thought he had caught me way further down than I did, and we actually were much closer to the center of the table in reality, and I pulled him over. But I just remembered, he let out a big yell when he hit, and then when I went, I let out a little yell, and because I knew if it stopped, I was good. I felt good that day too, and I hadn't used any energy in the super match left-handed. So
How'd you stop him? The lat drag with wrist flexion? What was your ambition, knowing that he could be faster than you? Yeah, well, so you
here,
stayed inside with him. Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's my fastest move, sideways. Um, so I knew if we stopped anywhere close to me being, not in too shitty of a spot, I'd be all right. I thought I would anyway. Turns out I was right. So I have done that, and go and like, oh shit, this is gonna be painful. Like shit, why didn't I just top roll? But yeah, he's super quick. All those European guys are quick.
Yeah,
And I don't know how long it is.
Ilya Sadov, I definitely put on that list left-handed as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I picked him to win that class actually. And the only reason I think he didn't is because the way he hits. And I spoke about it with him after our super match. I said, when you hit to a hook, bro, you can't turn this way. You got to turn this way. And I'm not saying he's not turning this way, but it damn sure looks like he's turning this way. With his palm towards him.
I think he's doing more of a
Yeah, yeah.
kind of
And
movement, but he can lose it because sometimes he'll feed his opponent while he was trying to get his shoulder behind it. So that's his biggest weakness, is probably feeding his opponent a little bit off of the shoot. But
I think it would be better to just push
sideways.
Over.
But he's
Yeah.
more of a down. He pushes down when he rotates in, opposed to
Yeah.
trying to get straight up. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
Yeah.
So, and if you know he's going to do that, which Oleg did, you can, be ready for it.
I think Oleg might have watched my match with him because that's what I ended up having to do was just accept this going in a hook and hit the fastest way I know to get to a hook. And my main goal was to turn his thumb as far over as I could get it because I know he's driving sideways. And if I have my arm in the right angle and I have him low enough to the center where I could just push like this on him, that yeah.
Good counter.
And
That's a good
I think
counter.
I think he ended up hurting his arm too. I kind of felt like shit after that, but I was like, dude, it's the only option I had, buddy.
Yeah.
You turned me in a hook in the center and looked at the crowd, bro. What you expect? I was like, I lifted my elbow up. I looked at Leonard like, shit. All right. Okay. I remember talking to Reza about this guy. He ain't lying. Okay. Let me see what I can do with this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely has potential.
That was in Washington or Oregon, right? At
Yeah,
one of the
Oregon.
Jonathan Woody.
Yep. Yep. Love that tournament. That was good people. I love those little town,
Me
middle of
too.
nowhere kind of tournaments.
Me too. That's coming up. It's the 24th of this month. There's
Right on.
Jonathan Woody Invitational in Myrtle Creek. I will be there with Oleg. Oleg's got a super match with Brandon Dye, right-handed, and quite possibly with Eli.
Left-handed.
Left-handed.
Yeah.
Well, Eli, look at me right here. Don't do this. Do this. Okay. Do that. You got it. And work nothing but speed drills the last week. Good, brother. You're stronger than him. I think by watching, the matches, I think you're stronger. Put you in that position that he was in, I think he's not going to hold you. I think. And he looked in bigger shape than when I pulled him too. Like he was, bigger.
Yeah.
But
I'm
looking forward to seeing.
Oleg.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Brandon back on the table.
Yeah, Brandon's a beast when he's properly trained.
Yeah, anybody that weight pushing over 400, you strong as shit, bro. You might be stiff, but you're strong.
Hey, so Josh has got a big match coming up, and it's been a lot of shit talking back and forth. For some reason, I thought his match was against Chan Shaw. Did it change to Craig Sabler, or was it always Craig?
No. To my knowledge, it was always Craig.
Okay.
He hadn't been. It's been several months since surgery now, so he's been slowly, getting back to where he feels like he needs to be. I know he's strong as shit in the gym right now. I pulled him a little bit. Sunday was actually the first practice I had been back to since I got back from Hawthorne. He was pretty much gassed out by the time I got there. I got there like 45 minutes late. But that's when I figured out my left still felt like garbage. But from what it's looking like, bro, I mean, I don't even think it'll be a match, but who knows? Greg looks, if you go strictly off social media, that guy lives in the gym, so you can't not be strong. Now, can you put that on the table? That's another question. But
yeah, that seems to be his struggle too, because he's been in the sport here for a minute. And,
Craig Soublier, I think I might have trained him. He's the guy who broke both his arms.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a bigger man than me, bro.
Hey, Hoffman broke his twice. So
no, what it is often guys that are gym trained, they think arm wrestling is going to the pad. When they get into a winning position, they may get into a winning position in a good way, But then when they get stopped, they try and go to the pad. Or when they go into a losing position, they try and pull up or turn their body, and they do make very poor decisions in crucial moments. And that's why, again, I recommend 2 years of just back pressure. 2 years.
So you're saying too much.
Full straight back. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Simplify.
Don't nobody wants to hear that though. You know, I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, center of the table, we're 50-50. Here, 70-30. Bro, I don't have to work that hard. You know,
Yeah.
I get this off the go and boom, you know.
Good.
And that's one of the challenges that just I never got over after beating Giannis doing it again, is because I don't know, he swapped up to more of a low hand style kind of, you know, and it just my I started feeding into him, if that makes any sense. You know, I never stayed here like this is where I'm gonna be. That's one of the mistakes I made pulling Paul again, which I did better. I did a lot better in the setup, but the way he sets his arm down and the refs allow him to start just makes you feel so uncomfortable, you know. And it's real hard to combat with that and feel good about going, you know, when they say go. Hey, good guy.
That's the boy.
Show him your muscles. Show him your muscles.
Ah.
Buddy.
And look at them hands. I'm a handful.
That's awesome, dude.
He walks around with a hammer in my house all day.
Generation.
I swear. He'll walk up arm wrestle you too. Funny as hell. I didn't really teach him that.
Who are you training with
What?
right now? Like, who's on your team, or who's like who comes to your practices?
Yeah, Josh is pretty heavy in right now, which he hadn't been in the past. He helped me train for Paul a pretty good bit. You know, technical wise, and in the gym wise, he couldn't do a lot on the table. But we got Dalton. He comes pretty regularly. Dad comes pretty regularly. Glenn probably comes, you know, once every 2 months. Nate, when he comes, you know, is always a handful. It's not as lively as it used to be. I'll say that, you know.
How's
I'd
Dad
like
feeling?
Oh, he's like a tank, like
Yeah,
always.
dude. He is a
Yeah,
beast.
I hope like hell I got half those genetics. You know, I mean, because I'm like, bro, I mean, what's I don't know. It's got to be all the years, because he was actually pretty, you know, heavy in the arm wrestling when he was coming up. You know, they didn't have a lot of the entertainment we had.
Yeah.
So they done it a lot at bars, and my dad, when he was young too, he was a lot smaller than me. When I was young, you know, I was 140, 150 pounds. He was smaller than that, or shorter than me, you know. So,
Right. Yeah.
but so, and I compare him a lot to Craig. They got just that raw grown man shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can be in shitty spots and you're still strong somehow. You know. Yeah. And I've heard some stories about Craig that reminded me of my dad.
So who's on your radar? Anybody specific? I know we kind of asked that, but we really didn't get an answer. Like,
yeah. I mean, right-handed right now. I mean, really, I want to pull Craig. That's the only person I've ever always wanted to pull, you know, and it just never lined up. When Craig would be on a tear, you know, he wouldn't want to pull a guy that's, you know, he'd have to cut a little weight too. He's, you know, he's already building up for those guys, which I always understood that. That's kind of why I just said screw it and went up too. Because at 176 pounds, I don't get a lot of matches. And I'm not one to just sit around and wait. You know, if I'm training, I got to have some motivation. And say it's, you know, definitely him. And I don't know. A lot of people want to see me pull Luke for some reason. Um, not gonna say he's on my radar. To me, he didn't pull it often enough to give me, you know. Honestly, I gotta be excited. You know what I mean? Like what I was talking to Reza about the other day. I'm excited about that. You know what I mean? It's a guy from overseas, guy I've never arm wrestled. Um, that's why when you brought up Worlds, I didn't even know. I thought you had to qualify. Shit, I should probably read those notifications. That kind of gave me a hell yeah. So
It
because
is,
I was
it
on the
is,
fence about this.
it is during the week. So you gotta take at least, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 days during the week to be able to attend this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I run my own company, so that's cool. Yeah, that's one of the perks. One of the very few perks.
Yeah, I need a sponsor.
Nah. I don't make that California money, baby. I tell guys what I bought land for, what I bought, a house for, anything like that. Pay taxes. They're like, what the fuck? Because I'll be bitching about it, and then they tell me their taxes or their, what a house costs there, land, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm gonna stay right where I'm at, bro.
I'm good.
So,
I got a
Keep it
lane.
simple,
Yeah.
bro. Keep it simple. Simple and happy.
Yeah. I mean, I got almost just 5 acres for almost 4 figures, almost next to my house. And I told the guy that, and they're like, what? You know how much an acre is here? I'm like, well, we have parts of land that go for, some lots on the lake I work on, bro. They go for $1 million an acre, easy. But my shit's off in the woods. Nobody wants to buy it, so I'm cool with that. But,
That's nice to have him.
So
Yeah.
Justin, have you ever competed at nationals, like the
I
traditional?
have. Yeah, I got 2 national titles. I got a 3rd place finish also in the damn, which one is it? Shit, which one is it? The one Bill does. Or used to do.
And they,
We used to have. Yeah.
and they I think.
No, USAA.
Oh,
Is that
okay,
what it
yeah,
was?
yeah.
Now that's Leonard and Denise. And then
And that is Leonard and Denise.
you're talking about Simons probably, right?
Yeah, I think that was the first one I competed in my first year. It was like 4 months pulling, and I went and pulled 54, and I got 3rd there. I should have got 2nd. Josh Handlin beat me after about a minute and a half war with Jeremy Pappy, and Jeff Hale won, and I pulled him, and that was the first time I got to pull a real, elite status puller, and that was interesting. I felt like I wasn't even in the fight. It went from nothing to boom, and it was over. What the fuck? But
Yeah.
yeah, I won AAA nationals right-handed. Can't remember what year. I think it was 14. And I beat Junior Andrews at 176 pounds to win. Which it wasn't a lot of guys there, but I was happy with that because he's a legit world champion, from what I understand anyway, WAF champion, and so it made me feel a lot better. And he's strong as shit too. But,
What was that, Scott?
I was gonna ask him what's his next tournament, what's he gonna do next? Like what's on
well, the kind of the thing I was telling you about that I can't really tell you about, and
because we got a half a year left.
He has some potential things that may happen. That's all he can say to you at this point in time, boy. That's
I get that.
trust me, I want to tell you, but you'll know, and it's big. Let's say that.
Yeah, if it happens, it'll be cool.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be much bigger for me. Certainly, probably bigger for him, but
yeah, but you'll have to be trained and healed 100%.
Yeah. I know my wife. I know. But no, I mean probably just IFL. Do that. Why not?
Okay.
There's not a whole lot interesting to me right now.
You want a redemption on Paul Talbot, or you're good with it?
You know what? Nine times is probably good enough for at least a year, right? I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I don't have much to say about that. You know, what can you say? I think if I could have got him in a hook a little sooner, I think on my side, I think I could have pulled out a win or two. But I haven't figured out what I need to do in the setup to get him off that angle, and I haven't gotten strong enough to get through the angle. So, you know, there's no
Yeah, I
point
mean,
in calling him.
it looked like you just got on the wrong side of your shoulder. And that's when he took advantage of that. Like he waited you out, waited for that right time where you just got your hand, went past your shoulder, and he found that angle to attack. And, you know,
the angle that gives me trouble is the angle before the go. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm on your side of the table already, you know? And I don't know, I don't arm wrestle guys with a lot longer forearms than me that often. So it may be it. And he's a very
You know what I
joint
used to
driven.
do, Justin, for a guy who was a lot longer than I would is I would put an extra elbow pad on top of my elbow pad, and then I would arm wrestle him. And my arm, yeah, dude, like I had a homie who had, he was a real long arm guy, and I just added an elbow pad, and I was like, yeah, what's up? And I was able to get a match every time simply because of that height, gaining that height advantage. Yeah. So that could be a good form of training for you. Have somebody on your team simply add a second pad, pull with you.
I mean, when
high position.
We were in the strap deep on my side, I felt good. I could feel him go sideways and he couldn't. And that's why he eventually went out. He waited a few seconds. I think he was waiting on me to let up in my fingers a little bit and accept the hook, and he started going out. And I stayed with my shoulder until, it got to a point where he stopped, and then I went back outside. I couldn't. But then when I realized my shoulder was on, and I kind of just turned my body with it to hang on for dear life.
They're good matches, though. Very impressive.
It's interesting how the littlest leverage off the top at the center can give you everything or take everything from you, though.
Yeah, well, I was hoping that he was as tired as I was. It turns out he was. So, that kind of played to my advantage and made it look like I did a little more. I didn't. What?
Yeah, so last question, Justin. Looking back at all the tournaments you've competed in, which one had the most stacked class? Most difficult class?
I don't know, probably a close run between the UAL 8 tournament. There's like 34, 36 guys in that class, and it was 7 or 8 countries. It was loaded. And at 85, that's hands down. Well, the one in Moldova was 85, I believe. So, and it was pretty stacked. I'm sure it could have been more stacked, but it being in Europe, but probably run a close race between those two, really. As far as how many people and who. Because I remember UAL 8, Anthony Dall'Antonio was there, Eduardo Tiete, several more Canadians. Storm Chelino was in that class. My brother was in that class. I'm trying to remember that one guy's name.
Kevin Bongard.
Yeah, Bongard, Jake Smith.
Philippe. Was it Philippe? Tito's, Carlos's buddy.
Yeah.
Lewis.
UAL 8 was a good tournament.
That was a great tournament.
I didn't do too well, but it was a good tournament.
Yeah. I remember, Bruce there. I look back on this stuff, and it's really not the tournament I remember. I remember certain matches and certain things that happened that would stand out. in time. You know what I mean? Like I was standing right there watching that. You know, your certain matches of yours may stand out like that, but in your memory, you know, like I remember Michael Todd hitting the table and John beat him, and fucking table seemed like it come this high off the ground, and you know, I remember just dying. Like I did not expect to see this shit in California. Like this is some shit you see at the bar where I'm from, but this, you know, like John looked like he ate an elephant before he came, and you know, just shit like that, bro. You know, like I remember what people don't know is Jerry laid down to John after a long match with Michael Todd. You know, but hey, it is what it is, baby. And I think that's why Mike was so mad about losing. Mike doesn't take losing very, you know, kindly, so to say. So I don't either, you know. He took this last one pretty well though, didn't
Yeah,
he? Yeah.
he accepted
He's
it
on a
halfway
vacation.
through round one. He accepted it.
You think that's what it was? Yeah.
Halfway through
Yeah.
round one, he was like, "Oh shit, there's nothing I can do." Like just
Yeah, but it looked that way when he pulled Trubin. If you remember that. I mean, Trubin had his hand flopped all the way over. I
yeah,
mean, there's
no.
nowhere Mike can go.
But the difference was Devin controlled through here. Gave
Yeah.
thing to Devin versus Trubin was controlling through up in here. He was controlling.
He couldn't get his thumb wrenching rotation off.
Yeah.
He couldn't get that.
Mike
going.
was like, "Oh
You
damn!
gotta.
I wonder what my RV is gonna look like. Rap. It's gonna look great."
That's the last part of the segment, guys. Till next time, it was
Shit.
awesome having you, Justin. Shout out